The 5 mistakes that you are doing right now to not perform the perfect OMG effect. Welcome to this SOS Flora. My name is MJ. I'm a Floractive Nanoplasty educator, and I'm here today to teach you, hairdresser, how to perform the OMG effect in any hair type right from your first application. Welcome! I'm doing the highlights right now, not me. Sarah, my technician, and her beautiful
her right hand,
the right hand of my right hand. So we're doing the bleach right now with all Floractive products, but this is something that we're going to talk about soon, all right? So stay there with us because we're going to talk about that soon. Not today, obviously, but today we're going to talk about the 5 important process that you are probably missing. And Sarah will be here as well, doing 2 things at a time because we are women and mums, and we do several things at the same time. Can you guys hear Sarah? Can you say something, Sarah?
Hey guys, can everyone hear me? You can't really see me, but you can hear me.
Cool. Oh, it's just because the thing is bending. That's why.
Oh, is it? Let me see.
No, but that's okay.
Are we
It's
good?
better to leave it.
Okay.
But before going there, let me talk to you guys about something very important. We're going to have soon a webinar, which is going to be the grand plan. And what is that grand plan? Is your chance of changing your career with the profession that it's going to be one of the hottest in 2026, which is nanoplasty specialist. Yesterday, we had a massive consulting with someone extremely important in the market today. And she said to me, MJ, 2026 will be the year of the nanoplasty specialists. So if you guys are not on this bracket of nanoplasty specialist, it would be your chance to changing your career forever. So right now, what you need to do, type the word grand plan, and I'm going to send you the message. My team is going to send you the message. You're going to join a WhatsApp group, and inside of the WhatsApp group, you're going to have all the info that you need to be able to participate of this webinar that is going to change your career as a hairdresser. You're going to have this specialty as a nanoplasty specialist. That definitely is going to change a lot for your end. So let's go and dive into the 5 problems. The first of the 5 is you are clarifying shampoo prior the application of the nanoplasty. Guys, clarifying shampoo, it's definitely one of the reasons why the things are not working out for you. Let me just do something here. I'm going to pin this comment. So you type grand plan. Clarifying shampoo. As much as a lot of people think that washing the hair prior, it's important because we need to remove the greasiness, or they haven't washed the hair for a long time. Clarifying shampoo can be as damaging as leaving bleach to overprocess the hair prior to the nanoplasty. And let me explain you why. When you clarify shampoo the hair, you are using strong sulfates. And those sulfates, they are going to reap everything that is sitting on the outside part of the hair, which is the area where the lipid sits. What is the lipids, MJ? Lipids is the part of the hair that accumulates the hydration, all right? The hydration. So it's very, very important for you to not remove that while you do the nanoplasty. Why, MJ? Because you are starting on the hair weaker, and you're not supposed to start nanoplasty with a weaker hair. I know that a lot of people think, but is nanoplasty damaging to the hair, blah, blah, blah. It's not the nanoplasty solution on its own, okay? It's not on the solution, it's on its own. What is most damaging to a hair is the heat that unfortunately we have to use to make sure that it's going to work. So Sarah, have you ever done a nanoplasty for someone that had the hair clarified or something like that to notice the difference?
Look, I haven't personally tried it because I already know that if I was to apply a nanoplasty on someone's hair with the hair being clarified shampoo, the results are not going to be the same.
Yeah.
But doing keratins in the past and knowing what the clarifying shampoo does to the hair prior keratining the hair, I would not even waste the Nanoplasty solution on someone's hair just to like I feel like it'll be just a waste and I will not receive the amazing results that I receive with every other Nanoplasty service.
And I feel that when you do clarify shampoo the hair prior, you kind of make the hair worse to make the hair better. So we all have this illusion that if we wash the hair with clarifying shampoo, we're going to remove everything that it's making the hair dirty. But, you know, a softer level of cleanse would do the job. Because the level of sulfates that has in normal products will be already enough to cleanse the fiber. You don't need to remove everything. Because if you remove all the lipids, everything that it's oily, or all the nutrients that it's sitting on the surface of the cuticle, you are starting in the hair worse than what they came in. So what is normally the step, Sarah, that you follow if someone comes in with a very dirty hair, or if they comes in with a lot of product, you know, greasy from a treatment? What you normally do?
So I've had a lot of clients come in where they've got like gel on their hair won't even move off their hair. Then I know, like, I can't even get the comb through their hair. How am I going to put a nano on their hair? So I just take them to the basin. I use the Floractive shampoo and conditioner. Normal 2 shampoos, a little bit of conditioner on the end, bring them back, dry it off, not 100%, but dry it off and damp dry. And then I start the nanoplasty process. Cool. So I would never use a harsh shampoo prior a nanoplasty service. Definitely.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. That's really, really important. So when you avoid using very clarifying shampoo or really deep cleansing shampoo at the beginning, you are making sure that the hair is starting on a healthier position. So that is guaranteeing that the solution is going to stay there and it's not going to be rinsed off. Because the problem when you use something extremely harsh on the hair, you stretch that fiber too much to the worst position. So when you apply the solution that it's very, very tiny inside of the hair, there is a percentage that it's going to be removed after the rinse. So when you start on the closing position, so the hair on the natural state, you have the hair fiber closed. So when the product gets in, it doesn't get out. All right, so it's clear on the first mistake. The first mistake that you're probably doing is you are confusing nanoplasty with keratin, and you are using clarifying shampoo or really deep cleansing shampoo prior. Second biggest mistake that as a nanoplasty educator, I see it all the time. And Sarah will be able to talk about that too, because she is an educator. She visits salons and she knows that this is what they do. They try to save as much as product as possible using the minimal amount of products as possible. And let me tell you a situation. I've been to a salon before to fix an issue. She had a lot of questions in regards to do the nanoplasty to make the hair smooth instead of straight. So I went there to teach her on how to do without removing the curls. But while I was there fixing somebody's head, she was doing a nanoplasty beside. And I kid you not, she used 15 grams for a whole head.
What?
15 grams, Sarah, 1.5. What? And then I say to her, okay, so what is the rest? Where is the rest of the products? And she said, oh, normally this is what I use for short hair. And I say 15 grams. And she said, yeah, this is normally what I do for the chemical straightening. And then I say, okay, honey, let me tell you something. Chemical straightening to nanoplasty, they're completely different. The base of the product is completely different. You need saturation on the fiber. And then I realized that that was the problem. She had this problem of this nanoplasty not working for her clients. And she told me, I'm following everything. And she showed me, she made some videos of the tension on her hands. Everything was perfect. And I couldn't figure it out. I said, okay, everything is exactly how I would do it. Why it's still not working well for you? So that was the amount of product. She wasn't using enough product. So MJ, when do I know what is enough products? Because Sarah, when you go to those places to teach,
yes,
have you seen them using a lot? Like,
yes,
so much that was dripping and making a mess?
Yes. So you can't use products where the product is now dripping and you're wasting product. At that point, you're wasting product. The hair needs to be properly coated like you would use when you're applying a color. So for hairdressers, we all know how it is to apply a color. if you leave your fingers on the hair and you move your fingers and you see linings of your fingers left on the actual hair shafts, it means you've used enough product. But if you move your hand and nothing has happened, there isn't enough product on the hair. So the hair does need to be saturated, but not dripping.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And I feel that they get from 80 to 100, you know, from 8 to 80. They put too much or they don't put enough. What you need to know is the fiber needs to be covered with products, because if the hair is not covered with products, that area that doesn't have products will not have action. And if that area that doesn't have product will not be action, when you rinse the hair at the end, that area will be still curly. So the hair will not lie. So what is the enough saturation? I say that we use roughly from 50 to 150 mils. And depends on the hair strand. On my hair, we don't use more than 70, 80 mils. Not at all, because I don't have a lot of hair. So, but someone with a lot of hair, they are going to use around 100. And that's why we say that the bottle can do around 8 to 12 applications. Some people can do much more than 12 applications. They can do about 18 applications if they do on male hair, for example. But then I'm not going to say you can do 18, as a lot of brands out there do. Or with the one bottle you can do 20 applications. Yeah, right. They can't do 20 applications if they do it properly. You know what I mean? So very important for you guys to make sure that you understand that the saturation needs to be enough to make the hair wet but not dripping. You need to make sure of that. If you are applying a lot of products, you are creating another problem. Don't think that the more the better. That's not the case. If you use a lot of product, you're going to have a lot of product touching on the scalp. You're going to have the product dripping everywhere. They're going to be changing the clothes color. They're going to be irritating the scalp, and you're not doing a good job. So applying a lot or not applying enough, it's a problem. It doesn't matter if, you know, one, it's not worse than the other. Both are terrible. Using a lot and not using enough. Okay, MJ, what is the amount, the right amount? As Sarah said, you apply, then you tap the hair with your fingers. If the marks of your fingers is appearing, good. Otherwise, you're not doing a good job. All right? Third biggest mistake. You are not rinsing the hair enough. You see that a lot, right, Sarah?
I see that a lot. And then they say, why does Nanoplasty products make so much fumes? I'm like, because their hair is full of nano. The product is still on the actual client's hair before they start to straighten it. So you're literally straightening product.
Exactly. And there is a lot of problems of you leaving a lot of product on the hair. The first biggest one is color change. You create rust. When you have products underneath and you pass the iron on top, you create rust. And that's why the hair gets red, orangey, yellow, brassy straight away. Because you're leaving the solution and creating rust on the hair. So what you need to do, don't feel scared. The product is already inside of the fiber. You need to rinse everything. But don't feel that you need to rinse until the hair feels clean. Because remember, Nanoplasty solution is very rich in oils. Have you tried to wash your hands after putting your hands in oil only with water? You're going to be underneath of the sink for 3 days and the greasiness is not going to leave your hand. So don't expect that when you rinse the hair after the processing time, that you're going to feel that the hair is clean. You will feel that the hair doesn't have that greasy, milky product on, but it's not going to feel 100% clean because of the oils. So once you feel that the water is clear, it's enough. You don't need to be there underneath of the sink for 20 minutes. 5 minutes, not even, right, Sarah? Yeah. 2 minutes, rinsing it properly, it's good enough.
Eventually, the more nanos you do, I think you just start to rinse it faster and like properly. It just comes like if you're new to nanoplasty and it's taking you more time to rinse it, don't worry, it's normal. And as you do more nanos with time, you just become faster at it, and you'll notice that as you're rinsing it, you feel the hair that it's completely clean.
Yeah. So as long as the water is clear, as long as the water is not milky, it's not white or blue, you know, if you are using the W2, it's fine. You can go ahead. You can go ahead with that. I could tell you guys at least 40 problems that you could do on a nanoplasty if you don't do it properly. But I think this 5 would be the biggest.
They're the main.
Yeah, they are the mains. Yeah.
How do you say that word? They're common.
Yes, that's the common mistakes.
The common mistakes. A lot of people do make these mistakes by accident, like not knowing that they're doing these mistakes. So
then the fourth biggest mistake that you can do is not using proper tension. And I could say obviously the straightener, because a lot of people use the wrong straightener and they actually think that we push the right straightener because we are trying to make money on them, and it's not the case. As I always say, I wish you could do nanoplasty with Remington from Kmart, $15. I wish you could do. But unfortunately, if you are doing a very high-end treatment, you need to use high-end products. And I'm not saying that, for example, Cloud9, Silver Bullets, they're not high-end. It's not about that. They are great products. Otherwise, they wouldn't be where they are now. But the problem is, I need a product, a dry product, an electrical product that will perform in the way that I need for the nanoplasty to work properly. And the straighteners that we recommend are straighteners that we tirelessly tried and saw that they perform under any different circumstance. So I'm not going to tell you the straightener that works only on fine hair, because you're not going to have only 5 hair coming to your salon. You're going to have thick hair, long hair, coarse hair, afro hair, and I need to make sure that it performs to all of them.
Like how the nano performs to every hair type, we need the straightener to perform to every hair type.
Yeah,
as well.
Very, very important for you to remember that. So, but it's not even the problem, because when you know the straightener, fine, you got it, you got the straightener. The problem is the tension, right, Sarah? You see that a lot, right?
Yes. So they say, like, I straightened every section 15 times. And I said, but if you look at the hair, it's not even straight, because you're not stretching the fiber and then straightening. You're just going with the straightener over the hair.
100%. And you know what? I hear that a lot. I pass 15 times. You can pass 100 if you're not putting the proper technique on the iron. Guys, the nanoplasty to work, we need to create a compensator. And what do you mean by that, MJ? For us to not use the harsh chemicals, we had to create a compensation. And the compensation is using the heat. So the heat on the hair will give you the proper tension on the hair, will give you the proper result. So when you're applying when you are drying the hair, you dry the hair 100% and now it's the time for the iron. If you don't give you the proper tension, especially when the hair is really wavy or really curly, you will have parts of the hair that it didn't perform, unfortunately. Because remember, it's a mechanical action. It relies on the mechanical side of the iron. So if you're not passing it properly, or if you're not putting the tension properly where it should, unfortunately, you're going to get always that average job. Always the average. So this is a very important part of the process. And I see that we had to send technicians to sites to correct that a lot, right, Sarah?
Yeah.
This is one of the main issues that you see, right?
Yes, a lot. You see that quite a lot with most of the jobs I go to, actually.
Yeah. And you know what? The fact that because they are hairdressers, we think that they know how to use the iron. This is actually not the truth everywhere. Some people know very well how to use the iron, some people don't. And you shouldn't be ashamed if you don't know, because not every hairdresser knows how to blow dry using the brush. I'm sorry, but this is the truth. So if you don't know how to blow dry and you don't ask for help, you will never learn. You will always be drying and using the iron because you don't know how to blow dry. And if you don't know how to iron properly, just ask for help. We are here to give you the guidance, to show you, to hold in your hand and show you exactly what to do for you to be able to achieve the OMG effect.
We didn't become hairdressers overnight as well. We did do 3 years in TAFE. We did do a lot of work experience. We did struggle to learn how to carry those scissors, to learn how to carry a tin brush. We struggled to learn. So there's more room for more learning. There's always more learning happening with hairdressers.
100%.
Yeah.
And I think
this
is one of the most common mistakes because of people coming from keratin, which is the final wash. When you don't wash the hair at the end, you're doing something that you will regret in the future. Your results will not be 100%. And you know why? Let me tell you. You have a solution that is acidic. And the hair is not on that acidity. So you leave in the salon with an acidic base on the hair without removing. That acid continues working on the hair until you equalize the fiber and the pH back to the normal. So your client will go home with the hair working still on the acids, and that dehydrates the fiber. So next time they wash the hair, which is going to be probably 3 days later or 5 days later, they had extra 5 days of dehydration that they didn't have to. And the worst thing that could happen with your client if they go home without washing their hair is if they jump in a swimming pool, or if they go to the gym, or if they sweat, or if they wash the hair, or if they wet the hair at night and sleep with the hair wet, without properly washing the hair, you can create so much issues just by skipping that simple step at the end. And then you might be asking me, MJ, why on keratin I didn't have to do that? Because on keratin, you have a solution that coats the fiber. When the solution coats the fiber, once you use the iron, the solution is done. There is nothing you can do. Nothing can change that. All right? And the longer you leave solutions that are similar to formaldehyde, the longer you leave on the hair, better. The straighter it becomes. Nanoplasty is completely different. Completely different. So avoiding the final wash. It's not marketing, as I've seen a lot of new brands saying it. It's not marketing. I'm saying if you leave the salon if I leave the salon now, Sarah, with this bleach on.
You can't. I'll see you tomorrow at our next class or next event. Bold.
Exactly. So we know that for some chemicals, we cannot leave on the hair for longer.
No.
So why on nanoplasty you all of a sudden think that is aloe vera oil, that you leave it on the hair, aloe vera, you know, this is not a home treatment. It's a salon treatment that you are charging a lot. And if you're not charging enough, because you're, I'm not charging them enough for them to be, charge them extra then. Charge them $30 extra for you to wash the hair after. Because it's worth it for you to charge more and then have the safety and the assurance that your client will have the hair properly.
And the proper results.
Exactly.
The best results.
And I'm going to add one extra mistake, Sarah. Not selling them the proper home care.
Oh, yeah. Look, I always say this. Yes, we do a lot of the work, but you know what? In reality, we're doing 20%. You're doing 80%. So
Exactly.
if you're going to go home and you're going to use something not good for your hair, 80% of it is your fault, not ours.
And you know what? My dad gave me the perfect example today.
Tell me.
He said to me, if you go to a mechanic, and then the mechanic knows that your car will have a problem in a few months, and they don't tell you, they literally fix the problem that you came to resolve, but they don't tell you that something is going to happen, even that they know, what are you going to think about them, Sarah?
They are beep.
They are not right.
Yes.
They are trying to rip you off.
Yes, they are.
They are trying to hide your problem for you to come back to them.
Yes, of course.
So when you hide to your clients the home care solutions that they need to use afterwards, you being exactly like that mechanic. You're hiding them the issues that they're going to have in the future for them to come back to you and do another service. When you sell them the home care, you're fixing an issue that it's going to happen in the end. You're fixing something that is going to happen to them in the future.
Well,
So, yeah.
sorry, babe. With my experience, all my clients that buy the home care, I don't see them again until they're due for the next nano.
Yeah.
The ones that tell me, no, it's fine, whatnot, I see them again. Because they tell me, babe, we need a trim, we need a treatment, our hair's feeling a little bit dull, our hair's feeling, and I'll be like, how about you take the home care now? And they're like, yeah, we think so too. And then once they do, I don't see them again.
So you are actually telling your client, I'm saving you the time of coming back here
yeah.
to fix your hair if you take the home care, because you're going to do this 80% at home by yourself, which is a very important part of the plan. So we need to make sure that when we offer that to our clients, we make sure that they understand that this is part of the work. This is not an option, you know, and a lot of people feel that it's an option. Guys, taking the home care home, it's not an option when you do something like this. It's like buying a car and saying, oh, you put petrol just when you feel like. If you want to run with your car, you have to put petrol every time you leave. You know, so I think these are the 6 big mistakes that we see all the time. What do you think about that, Sarah? You think?
I think they're the most common mistakes. There are quite a lot of mistakes, but they are the most common mistakes.
Yeah.
The ones to really look out for, because they slip right under our nose and we don't notice it.
Yeah.
So we see it a lot, and it's very good that we actually, or MJ actually pointed them out to you guys today. I think there's a lot of more mistakes.
That's a lot
we can
more,
add,
but we can add the 6 today and close it up.
Yeah, we don't want to overwhelm you, but
exactly.
Look, the thing that I've noticed, and I've used a lot of brands and a lot of things before, but with Floractive, it's very straightforward.
Yeah.
There is a lot of classes, there's a lot of lives, the look and learn classes, the demos, there's a lot of things that are available. AA on her face, look at the camera.
It's all right. Continue. This is the reality in the salon.
There is a lot of education available.
Yeah.
And once you get that proper education, your results will become game changer. And you'll be getting the amazing results that we get all the time.
So just to find out,
the education's available. It's just about you reaching out and receiving that proper education and wanting to actually better yourself and learn and get the best results.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So just to finalize it now, I'm going to have a webinar soon. And for you to participate on this webinar, to understand these problems and these mistakes that you are committing now, to avoid you to do the OMG effect, just type the word grand plan that it's typed on your screen right now. My team is going to send you a link. You're going to be directed to a WhatsApp group. And on this WhatsApp group, you're going to be receiving all the information on when it's going to happen, what time, and you're going to be able to be part of this big community of nanoplasty educators, nanoplasty specialists from Floractive. So I'll see you guys very soon. And I hope you enjoyed this live with me and Sarah. See you guys soon.
Thank you for watching, guys.
Bye.